Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub. It is Monday, June the 7th on Pub Sports Radio. We are back ready to break down the Monday NBA playoff card. Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, Dutch Boy Fresh, Skee Profit, ready to break it all down. Two great games tonight, Milwaukee-Brooklyn game 2. We finally get underway with Denver and Phoenix, waiting for that series to get underway. And finally, tonight, we will have game number 1 of that series. Yesterday, we see two games, and we were on the air right at the beginning of game 1 between Atlanta and Philadelphia yesterday. And that was just a freaking 3-point barrage, an assault by the Atlanta Hawks early in that game. And it's not really an assault that the Sixers fully recovered from. I mean, they were just swimming upstream the entire game, down 15, down 20, down 25. And look, they made a valiant charge and a valiant run at it in the fourth quarter, but you just can't bury yourself that early in the game and be trailing by that big of a margin. And they fell short of the big comeback in Atlanta, taking game 1. And look, it was just everybody. Trae Young was magnificent. Bogdanovich was shooting it big time yesterday. They were getting 3-point shots from everybody. It was just a real impressive display offensively, and a terrible one, quite frankly, by Philadelphia defensively. And made me feel good about it because of the fact that I stuck with Atlanta plus the points. I had bet it thinking Embiid wasn't going to play, but then we find out he is going to play, and sometimes that's not a good thing for a team. Everybody just relaxes a bit, think, hey, we got our big guy back, our big cog here. We're going to be fine. We're going to just go out there and get the job done. And Philly didn't put the work in on the defensive end of the floor yesterday in that game. That's putting it mildly. And Atlanta takes game 1. And then the other game, Dallas and the Clippers, game 7 victory for the Clippers. The Dallas Mavericks performance made me sick yesterday because the defense was non-existent. Luka Doncic had to do everything for that team. My heart bleeds a little bit for Luka. He did everything he could in his power throughout that series and in game 7. He just didn't get anybody stepping up to help him throughout this series, especially yesterday. I mean, who could you rely on to help you out offensively? Nobody. That's a problem. And Dallas, unfortunately, Luka took them as far as he could. And just nobody joined him for the ride in game 7. Terrible defense, especially in the second half. And look, the Clippers finally did adjust defensively in the second half after it was basically a shootout, ping pong style, back and forth in the first half. And finally, the Clippers said, we'll be the ones to get stops. And now Dallas has some decisions to make in the offseason. You got to upgrade this roster, I think, around Doncic. Apparently, there's a report coming out today that Kristaps Porzingis is dissatisfied and not happy with his role on the team. They're talking like he should be 1A and 1B with Luka Doncic, which is absolute garbage as far as I'm concerned. Hey, Kristaps Porzingis, don't worry about being 1A and 1B. Maybe stay on the floor, maybe do something in that series before you worry about your role with the team. He's talking about, I should be getting a bigger role. I should have more minutes and all that. You know what? The only thing you should be holding is, the medical sheet, because that's all you have. You're on the injury report year in and year out. So, that kind of nonsense from Kristaps Porzingis is insane to me, that he's putting himself even close to on the same pedestal right now as Luka Doncic. But obviously that's something Dallas will have to figure out in the offseason. And now they have the time to, because they are done, and the LA Clippers move on to take on the Utah Jazz. That series will begin on Tuesday night. Skee, you didn't get your wish. Hell, I didn't get my wish. I didn't want the Clippers to advance either, but they did. What did you think of yesterday's games?
Yeah, you kind of summed them up pretty good. Atlanta, I thought that they could compete and definitely probably win the game without Embiid playing. I can't say I necessarily thought that they would win with Embiid playing. I also didn't think Embiid was like 100%, but he looked pretty damn good to me. So I guess we can just throw out Embiid is injured for the near future, and I can expect the Sixers to play some defense. I mean, just looking at how that first game went and the team that they're supposed to be, I feel like in the last series, they kind of had a game like that where they let the Wizards score too many points. And then after that, they're kind of holding the Wizards to like around 100, if I'm not mistaken. So I expect better defense from Philly. And the other game, Clippers versus – I'm looking forward always. I don't really want to talk about the last game we saw. I mean, Luka obviously did his thing. That's my boy for sure. But just not enough around him. And Clippers, we'll see if they can keep it going versus Utah, because they're expected to make it out of the West. Like, their expectation is not to win one series. And Jazz have, as far as record goes, been a pretty good team all year. So we'll see how it goes.
That will be a good series. Dutch, what were your thoughts with 2 games on Sunday?
Yeah, man, my fault. I actually called just real quick. I touch on. I called Cox. They're coming out to my house tomorrow. They say everything's good. I might need a new router. I don't know, man, but that's fucking Cox, man. But hey, I got you on my phone, so I can't even really see the. I can't even really see the chat too much. So shout out to the chat. You already know I'm thinking about y'all. But yeah, man, let's get back to yesterday. Yesterday was pretty solid. 4-2, slow start with the Philly. Definitely was on the wrong side. But like I mentioned to you guys when we got off the show, I was gonna peep game and I was gonna find a spot. I did tweet it out too. I got on Philly second half -8. So that was lovely. They actually damn near had a little sweat at the end. We got over on the Ben Simmons over 15.5 points. Had a sweater though. Motherfucker can't buy a free throw. Just uncomfortable as shit. Does not almost airs the free throw. Barely hits the front rim every time. It's disgusting. And then of course last night we did fall a little short with the freshest look with Kawhi. Luka got it done with the plus 140 on the threes. And Luka needs a lot of help pretty much is what it is. I think the scary thing is when you really think about it is Luka isn't even really in NBA like prime shape. Think about when he actually does that. When he takes that next step, probably he'll do in the offseason and get better shape. He's going to be even fucking better. It's insane to think how good Luka can be and is at this time. But I look for the Clippers kind of did what I thought. I thought it would be more of a sweat a little bit, but that you could kind of see it. Game 6, they kind of took the heart out of Dallas.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think there is some truth to that game 6, they just put their foot down and just tore away with that game. And there was just a little bit of a positive and a negative for Dallas going into game 7. And they kept that momentum rolling. C-Mac, the 2 games yesterday, Atlanta's game 1 win and the Clippers in game 7.
Yeah, Atlanta just came out hot as all hell. Trae Young was huge. All those guys, Collins, Bogdanovich, all game long hit big shots, big threes, and they stayed hot. The game went way over. I had a half unit on the under. I lost that. But, yeah, competitive. Embiid looked good, almost 40. But the Sixers' defense was just all out of whack. They played a little better in the second, but they got to do a lot better in this next game. Man, I think it's still a close series, obviously, but that was rough for the Sixers. And the second one, the Mavs just choked late, in that third quarter. We talk about shooting. Hardaway 1 for 9, Porzingis 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. That's all they had. They couldn't make anything. Luka had to carry the load. They fell apart late. But the Clippers got big contributions from all these guys off the bench. Morris 7 and 9 from 3. He was hitting threes everywhere all of a sudden. Yeah.
Nice.
Jackson,
nice.
yeah, 7 and 9. That was huge. He scored 23. Jackson did solid, 15 points, 3. Luke Kennard, there's a Luke Kennard sighting. He hit 3 threes for 11 points. So kind of the bench was really big for the Clippers last night, and they just took control and won it. They didn't even need a monster game from Kawhi, who was solid with 28 points, almost had a triple-double. But, yeah, they put it away. The Mavs just folded. They don't have enough. They need more. They need to do something with the roster. Give Lucas some help. He can't do it all. But
get KP the fuck out of there, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Get him out of there. Enough already. Yeah, it's time to part ways. It's time to, just realize that, hey, it didn't work out here with him in Dallas. He can't stay healthy for a full season. Now he's got the nerve to complain that I'm not being given my due and my prop. You're looking for your props alongside Luka Doncic. Get the fuck out, man. Enough with that nonsense. By the way, speaking of nonsense, that was Milwaukee's performance in game 1, a bunch of nonsense. We'll see if they can bounce back here tonight in game 2, taking on the Brooklyn Nets. We saw Brooklyn open 2-point favorites. Milwaukee is now a 1-point road favorite in a lot of spots here, and we've seen a steady rise in the total in this game. It's opened as low as 234. Now we're seeing 237 for the total up in most spots. I agree with the moves in both cases. I think it's for Milwaukee. It's a chance for them to respond. If you remember game 1 against Miami in the first round, they shot the ball terribly in that game. You go to game 1 of this series Saturday night. What did they shoot from 3? 6 for 30. Clearly that's not going to get it done. Clearly they're capable of shooting the ball much better than that. And what did they do in game 2 against Miami? They did get that shooting stroke back again, and that offense took off. So I think they're going to shoot the ball a lot better. I think they need more balance. They settled for too many threes in the second half once they fell behind. They forgot how to attack the rim. I think you got to see a lot more of that tonight from the Bucks. Certainly Giannis Antetokounmpo interested in his over points, rebounds, and assists from a prop standpoint. The rebounds prop definitely as well. I think under the radar rebound prop might be Middleton. Over 6.5 because he got 13 in game one, and he's been able to crack double digits in rebounds a lot in recent games. So Middleton over 6.5 rebounds makes some sense to me. On the net side, I like Joe Harris. I mean, he's really going to have to step up, be that third, fourth scoring option for sure now with Harden out. He won't play tonight, won't be back probably anytime soon. So next to to Durant and Irving, Joe Harris probably that guy to step up. For Milwaukee, look, I'm going to say this is a competitive series. I think it's going to be back and forth, and those are the series where the zigzag theory makes sense. It's the mismatch series. You don't want to be blindly betting the zigzag theory, but I think this is going to be a back and forth series. I think Milwaukee will shoot better, play a lot better tonight in game two. So I do like the Bucks to win game two tonight, and I like the over as well. We saw the game one stay under, just like Milwaukee with their game one against Miami stayed under, just like Brooklyn and Boston game one stayed under in the first round. And both of those teams, Milwaukee and Brooklyn in the first round, game two soared over the total. You saw the shooting percentage corrections for both teams. They both shot a lot better in game two. So I like the Bucks. I like the over, and those props I mentioned, I like those as well. Skee, what do you think? We'll start with you here. Game two, Milwaukee, Brooklyn.
In this one, as far as props, I didn't really go too hard into props, but if I had to play it, it probably would be rebounds for Giannis, and that's probably all I really would look at right now. But on the total, I agree with the line move, and I did get involved. I got involved in the first at 115, and I still think it's doable where it's at right now at 117.5. In the last game that they played, they scored 124. Even though the full game stayed under, and the Bucks only shot 20% from three. I just see like you mentioned, Ian, the Bucks shot very poor in game one last series and came out the next two games and were lights out. So I think that they can improve a lot. And I see this one going north of the total, whether first half or full game. If you want to look at the Nets without Harden, as long as Kyrie and KD play, their games average around 236. So I think this number is still doable. As far as the side, I would have to go Milwaukee, and that's what I'm rocking with.
All right, Milwaukee, like in the first half over specifically. I like the first quarter over as well, which that's gone up too. It was like 56.5. I think it's gone up to like 59.5 now. So we've seen that first quarter total go up as well. Because I remember Milwaukee, they smashed Miami in game two offensively. They torched the Nets, and now tonight they'll be looking to duplicate that and torch the Nets both ways, torch the actual Nets and torch the Nets team tonight here in game two. Dutch, what do you think here? Milwaukee, Brooklyn.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my guy Turnsy, Big Zone in the chat, Brian Watson. I see you. Yeah, when it comes to this game, pretty much echoing everything you guys saying. Like I definitely expect Milwaukee to shoot better from the perimeter. I said Milwaukee. I like Milwaukee in this series, but to me, they choke game one. I do expect them to take game two, but I'm gonna stay away from a side. I'm right with you guys on the over. I believe if you like Milwaukee, I think from either side, the over has to go. I think to exploit Brooklyn, you have to attack that paint. Which I mentioned the other day, they can't defend the paint. So attack the paint. What I'm going to look at from actually the Bucks side, I'm going to look at Drew Holiday. I believe my guy Ray Charles was spitting a little bit of facts about him, numbers that I'm seeing what Ray's seeing today. Ray's seeing clearly, actually. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take over points, rebounds, and assists. It's 32.5. Now he went over this number 3 of the 4 games against Miami. He did hit 32 in game one. I believe he had 17, 9, and 6. The last game of the season against Milwaukee, not the actual season, but the last time they played Brooklyn, he had 23, 10, and 8. So I believe Drew Holiday has to be the second best player on Milwaukee. I believe Giannis needs to obviously load up the stat sheet, but Drew has to attack. I mean, he shoot poorly game one and still was like right at this number. I believe he needs to attack the hole. He will hit a couple threes. I'm not mad at the little plus money. I think he is at 2.5 threes, but definitely looking for him to attack and get over the points, rebounds, and assists. And then from Giannis, I got to go back to my boy. His points are juiced up at 34. And I say my boy in this matchup, really, because I love him in this matchup against Brooklyn's weak-ass interior. I got to go with him over 12.5 rebounds. We did come a little bit short on this. 13.5 is down 1 rebound. Attack. Come on, Giannis. Easy 15 rebound game for him. Over 12.5. And it's actually like -1. You can find it as good as -105 out there. I'm going to stay away from the Brooklyn side, really, because I like these two props a lot. I would expect KD to get his. I like KD's rebounds prop a little bit as well, too. But what I expect from a lot of people are looking at Middleton as well. He had a rough game. I would expect him to have a better game, but with James Harden out, I think you might see a little bit more of Bruce Brown, and I think he's a pretty good matchup against Middleton. So to me, the best matchup on the floor is Drew Holiday going at Kyrie, and you better do that early and often. And let's look for Milwaukee to handle business tonight.
All right, good stuff. Conor Mac, what do you like here? Bucks Nets game 2.
Seems like we got a lot of Blake Griffin love or a lot of no love that he's going to go under today in his points. We'll see. Aside, I'm going to stay off the side here. Obviously, I lean Bucks, but now they're -1. I don't love that. So I'd look Nets if I were looking here, money line. And yeah, I agree with the line movement towards the over. I still think it gets there. The fourth quarter, it was on track until the fourth, and it kind of died down. I think it was 23-17 that fourth quarter, only a 40-point fourth. So it was kind of on the way in game 1. I look towards game 2 that could get over this 237. I didn't get the good number here, so I didn't get it earlier. So I'm going to probably stay off. Yeah, I like that Middleton over 6.5 rebounds. I like Holiday over 7.5 assists at +105. I think he does well tonight. I think he can get 8 or more for sure. The Giannis 12.5 boards I like as well. And Middleton, he needs to step up. He might shit on me here. This guy can have games like he did in game 1, but he needs to be better. His over 2.5 threes at +112 is intriguing to me. I might take a look at that as well.
All right, good stuff. And then finally, now we have game 1 of Phoenix and Denver. They're finally going to get it underway tonight in the desert. We got the Suns 5-point favorites, total up to 221.5 now. This total's gone up just a little bit. It'll be interesting to see with these two teams. They've been off for a few days here, both of them, especially. They both wrapped up what was their series Thursday night last week, Denver and Phoenix. Look, for the Suns, it was a great performance against the Lakers, no question. It's going to be a tougher challenge. When I started looking into the series, I'm like, wow, this Suns defense pretty good. A lot better than it was down the stretch of the regular season. But how much of that was, the Lakers didn't have a lot of perimeter weapons that were shooting the ball that well. Anthony Davis was hampered that whole series, didn't play at the end, the last few games. LeBron was less than 100%, wasn't himself. Denver's going to be able to throw a lot more offensively at Phoenix. So I actually think they're going to be challenged a lot more, especially with Michael Porter Jr. finding the shooting the way he did in the series against Portland.
Yeah.
That was big for them. And not only that, but Austin Rivers, Monte Morris. I mean, they got a lot of good contributions throughout the lineup. And that's good news for Michael Malone's team going into this series against the Phoenix Suns. However, Phoenix, on the other hand, they showed you what they're capable of too. DeAndre Ayton, very good series overall. Devin Booker, amazing. Nothing more needs to be said than that with the way he played in that series against the LA Lakers. He's almost to a point where you're terrified. He's a player at this point you're terrified to bet under his point props right now with the way he's shooting right now against this Denver team. And look, to be honest with you, the Suns pretty good offensively down the stretch against the Lakers. Are the Nuggets really a better defensive team than the Lakers? I'm not so sure about that. So I think you see offensive advantages both ways here in game 1. I think the total moving up makes sense to me a little bit. I know you don't get pace from Phoenix, but you get efficiency. You do get that offensively, which can make up for that. And really the same thing with Denver. Denver's not a blistering pace team, but boy, they are effective. They're filling it up right now. They got inside-outside balance with Joker in the low post. Joker can kick out to the three-point line. And then, of course, you've got that group of Rivers, and you've got Morris and company, Michael Porter, that can drain from long range. So this total has gone up, and I agree. I like over the total. As far as the side goes, I like Phoenix in the series. Don't know if I want to lay 5. I think they win game 1. I just don't feel comfortable laying a full 5 in this game. The lean is to the Suns -5, but I'm just going to stick to the over here in this game, 221. Skee, what's your thoughts here? Game 1 of what could be a really good series, I think, Nuggets and Suns.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. For one, like the Nuggets defense for sure is not good. I think we can agree that the Nuggets defense is just not good. So I see Phoenix. I mean, they were scoring 60 points, 62 points on the Lakers in the first halves of those games. So I see them having success versus Denver. And you talk about them not playing fast, yeah, but like you said, they're efficient, and Denver not good in pick and roll defense. And what do you think Chris Paul is going to do all night if they're not pushing pace? So I see points there. I look at the Denver team. Since Jamal Murray went out, they played 30 games. 60% of them have went over, and they're averaging about 228. So that makes sense to me. And you're going to get a little bit more pace from the Nuggets tonight. Michael Malone already said,
I saw that.
You have to get out and run, play with pace. He said if you sit there and play versus their set defense all night, you're not going to have success. So look for the Nuggets to get out and run. And whether the Suns run with them or play slow, both offenses are really efficient. So whether it's first half or full game, I like points. And if I look at a side for the game, I think I'm the other side a little bit. I lean more towards the Nuggets. I just think 5 points is a lot. I know the games that they played this year were all with Jamal Murray, but they were all close. 2 of them went to overtime. And let's say Aiden gets in foul trouble, something happens, Nuggets, Jokic's going to have a field day. So I can see it being a close game. I lean Nuggets, but I like the points going over.
All right, liking the over with just a lean to Denver +5 as well for Skee. I like Jay Crowder over 11.5 points. He got the shooting going at the end of that Lakers series, 17 and 18 in 2 of those games. He averaged 44 points in the last 3 games of that series. So that's an average of almost 15 points per game. If he gets to almost 15 tonight, he cashes that prop. So I like Jay Crowder, and this is what they brought him in. He's good defense, rebounds a bit, but can shoot the 3. That 3-ball shot was lacking early against the Lakers in that series. He got it rolling late in that series, and now you get value in the props now just as he's getting that stroke back. Jay Crowder over 11.5 points tonight for the Phoenix Suns. Dutch, what do you like here, Denver, Phoenix?
Yeah, shout out to my guy, The Hook, Anthony Witherspoon, Eric Chang. I see y'all. Yeah, hey, you said it right there, Jay Crowder. When you said Michael Porter Jr., I was like, hey, this motherfucker's about to have nightmares of Jay Crowder. I think he's going to – I don't want to say he's going to shut Michael Porter down, but I think he's going to have – he ain't seen nobody like this dude in the playoffs, that's for sure. I believe that he's going to have the upper hand in that matchup. Michael Porter can get hot, but he's still kind of soft and realistically to me. I love Phoenix here. We talked about it a little bit already. You see Skee with that bright ass orange. We going there all day, early and often. I think Phoenix, for official show purposes, we'll lock in the -2 first half because I do believe that is the best look. Now they're +9 in this series. In the 3 games they played against Denver in the regular season, they're +9 in the first half and actually lost 2 of these games. So they play well in the first half. We rode Phoenix first half against LA. They were +9 in the series against LA. So, hey, we +9 tonight. We were looking real good. So we'll take Phoenix Suns first half -2.5. Also love my guy DeAndre Ayton. You know he feeds us. We stay eating off this dude. Stay out of foul trouble. Let's go over 14.5. It was 13.5, but for show purposes, we'll do 14.5. It's plus money. The Cats averaging 22 points in 3 games this year against Denver. Joker, nobody's stopping this cat. Give him the ball inside and let him do his fucking thing. DeAndre Ayton's getting 20+ tonight. Stay out of fucking foul trouble. I do expect Joker to eat, but I look more on the rebounds aspect for him. It looked actually kind of low last night. Didn't get to check into it too much today. But I'm also going to take a look at Mikal Bridges, over 11.5 points. My guy's in that corner just stroking it, getting wet over there. So we're going to take Mikal Bridges over 11.5. He's averaging 16 in the 3 games against Denver this year. He had a great, had up and down against, the Lakers, but I think he's coming on towards the end, and we can find that over 11.5 real easy. I believe him. I believe he'll have a lot of open shots. And like I mentioned, I like Phoenix a lot in this series because it comes down to defense. I don't believe Denver has a good defense. And I also believe Chris Paul is going to be the difference maker when it really comes down to it. He's not going to allow his team not to succeed in this moment. I think he knows that they have a chance to get to the championship, and I think Chris Paul is going to be big time in this series. Skee mentioned the pick and roll. I think he's going to eat him up, and I think Chris Paul is not necessarily going to have crazy numbers, but he's going to do it when it matters, and he's going to lead everyone else around him to big series, and I look for Phoenix to handle business early and often tonight.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Mikal Bridges, Dutch, because that's the guy I was debating with Jay Crowder in terms of which one with the prop at that same range, 11.5. 2 guys that have got fire down the stretch. We started to get that form back. And for Bridges, 11, 13, and 10 in the last 3 games of that series against the Lakers. So he's heating up. That's a good prop look as well, in my opinion. Bridges as well, over points, because he found it down the stretch of that series. And it's funny how you throw in there, Dutch, the stay the fuck out of foul trouble warning and message to DeAndre Ayton, because that's always the issue with that
That's
guy.
his thing.
He's so good when he's on the floor, but man, he has this propensity to pick up these ticky-tack fouls. It's like, man, just don't be that aggressive. Just ease back a little bit here. We need you on the floor, big guy. And sometimes you just got to remind. That's up to Monty. Monty's got to remind him of that. Just be careful. Don't pick up these.
And Chris
fouls.
Paul too. That's Chris Paul. That's him being a leader. Like, Chris Paul's not scared to get in any of those guys' faces, tell them what to do. Jay Crowder too. I like Phoenix. Phoenix showed me a lot against the Lakers. I know they were beat up, but if you were watching them, the chemistry they have. I mean, Chris Paul, say what you will about him in the playoff, the guy's a fucking leader. You know what I mean? He's one of the best leaders that I've seen.
Yeah, he does make it clear too. I heard Dutch mention earlier. It's not a Phoenix Suns hoodie. Just making that clear.
Hey, it is a Phoenix Suns hoodie to me, man. That's all I see.
I know it looks like
It's like Devin Booker stroking it on that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, he's not a Phoenix Suns fan all of a sudden. I'm glad he clarified. It is. All right, C-Mac, what do you think here? Denver, Phoenix.
Man, you guys killed it. You kind of went on everything I want. I love the first half with the Suns, Dutch. I don't want them full game at 5. That's stretching out. You went over all those stats. That's why I like them first half here. -2. It's still -2 most everywhere, but I still like it. I like them early here. I got to take my guy, Booker. He's over 2.5 threes, plus 130. It's plus money. Ooh. You got to take it. And I agree. I think Denver's not very good defensively. The Suns do play slow, but like you mentioned, Skee, they all do those set. The Suns are real slow, and the Nuggets want to speed it up. I heard Malone talk about that earlier. So I think the total goes over too. I'm on this over 221 as well, and that's all I got. I like the Crowder over 11.5. I haven't bet it, but I like that look, boys.
All right, there you go. Crowder over 11.5 points. Yes, I like that as well. Great stuff. That is the 2 games tonight. Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Denver, Phoenix. We'll get to best bets in just a second. We'll also take a look at Dutch's freshest look as well. Get ready for that. Before we do that, though, as we always do at this time, a couple messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. Roll it. All right, Southtown 101, San Antonio, Texas. If you're in town, check them out. Great food, drinks, live music as well. Southtown 101, Manscaped, 20% off your purchase if you use the promo code PubSports. So guys out there, take care of yourself with the Manscaped grooming products, promo code PubSports, and mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. It is a great time of year. NHL and NBA playoffs into the second round. We got U.S. Open golf this month, NFL preseason. Yeah, that Hall of Fame game that's early August. Yeah, early August is 2 months away. Better start getting ready and getting excited for football season because it's going to be here before you know it. Great time to check out mybookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. Mybookie.ag, use the promo code PubSports. All right, it is time now for best bets, freshest look for Dutch on this Monday slate. Ski Profit, we'll start with you. Best bet.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm taking somebody's best bet, but I'm just gonna rock with it. I'm going Suns and Nuggets over. Best I can get is 221 right now. Yeah, I like that one. Best bet.
All right, Nuggets Suns over 221, best bet for Ski Profit. And yeah, of course, we're going to have the same best bets on a lot of shows. We're down to like 2 games a night now in the NBA. I mean, you're not splitting the atom, figuring out we're going to have the same best bets every now and then with just such a little amount of games now on a nightly basis. But nothing wrong with that. Dutch, freshest look. Let's hear it.
Yeah, man, the freshest look. We're going to the Valley. It's going to be as bright as my man Skee's hoodie right there. We're going Phoenix Suns first half. -2, 2.5, whatever you can get. They're going to get it real easy. Like I mentioned, +9 in the first half in the 3 games they played against Denver. I look for Phoenix to come out hungry and stomp these motherfuckers down. -2.5 first half.
All right, Phoenix Suns -2.5 against the Denver Nuggets in the first half. Freshest look, Dutch Boy Fresh. Conor Mac, best bet.
Wow, you guys took it. I'm going to stick with it. First half, Suns -2.5. And I'll throw you, I think he gets 3 tonight, and it's plus money. Booker over 2.5 threes. I think he gets 3. So put a little on that as well. But my best bet was Suns first half with Dutch as well.
Yeah, let's hope that Devin Booker saved some of the 8 3-pointers that he had in Game 6 against the LA Lakers.
Just need 3 or 4, yeah.
Exactly. Just give me 3.
Days.
We're happy. I like that, though.
Nice
like
and early. We like it nice and early.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So liking Suns first half and a little Devin Booker over 2.5 threes as well, Conor Mac. My best bet is, man, I've probably got the riskiest best bet of them all because I'm on Milwaukee and this team's flaky, but I think this is a got to get it, win and respond and be better than you were in game 1. The money line is -115, so I'll just go money line, -115. Milwaukee Bucks against the Brooklyn Nets. Just win the game, and hopefully they do that. Milwaukee -115 against Brooklyn. That'll be my best bet for tonight. Definitely. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Emily, I mean, Dutch and everybody are better at rhyming off everybody in the chat than me, but everybody that's there. It's Turnsey. I know Turnsey very well. He watches a lot of these shows daily. We appreciate him. Eric Chang, Wyatt Chapman. Go on down the list. Dennis Garcia,
MMA
John
locker room.
The Hook, MMA locker room. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's on the Nuggets +5 tonight. You're going to be sweating.
Yeah.
Clamping them. Going to be clamping them.
Anthony Witherspoon, Bill McDonald. I mean, just going down the Talk Sports with JT, Ray Charles, everybody in the chat. We appreciate it. Thanks to everyone for Akbar, everybody in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. We're back tomorrow on Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for another NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. For Connor, for Dutch, for Skee, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Pub Hub. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to the chat. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.
We be pubbing. Let's go. Hit the like button on the way out.